Burnout is so common in entrepreneurs, and I think it's probably been that way since the dawn of time. But today, it seems like entrepreneurs don't even feel the effects of burnout, these crippling effects in their lives and in their businesses until it's too late, and it becomes a virus and it spreads throughout everybody in their organization, and it just destroys so many businesses. And I'm not talking about just startup businesses. I'm talking about businesses that have been in existence for a long time. I'm talking about generational businesses. I'm talking about multi-million dollar, even billion-dollar companies where the key people start to burn out, and it spreads and it infects the organization from them all the way down. Now, I'm on my way back right now from a meeting with a key team member in Manhattan, and I know he's on the verge of burnout. And we spent a lot of time in our meeting today discussing how to prevent this and how to recharge. And he kept coming back and explaining to me what he's doing, and it's so wrong, and it's so very, very much like what most entrepreneurs do that end up destroying them. And I want to talk about it and sort of touch on this today because I think it's so important for you and for everybody else who is driving in business. Most entrepreneurs that I talk to, whether they're in my organization or they are in one of the companies that I advise, they believe that when times get tough, or when they go through growth spurts, or even just periodically, they need a vacation. And that may be true, but the definition of a vacation for most people is an escape, and which might mean binge watching Game of Thrones or something like that for a weekend, or it might mean just going out in your backyard and drinking beers with your buddies for a weekend. And I promise you, every single high growth person that I've ever spoken to who has done that has come back less productive on Monday. It is never helpful to do that. Never. I mean, your brain needs to rest. Your brain needs to recharge. And that's what happens during sleep. But a vacation for an entrepreneur absolutely should be something that is a change of stimulus. See, your brain and your body, they're amazing, miraculous organisms that thrive and that recharge on a change of stimulus. So if your day is basically built around sitting in front of the computer or having team meetings, then the change of stimulus that you need is something that is completely different than that. You go out into the sunlight and you spend time in the sunlight. You go onto the beach. You let your toes hit the hot sand. You go into the ocean. You go skiing. You go mountain climbing. You do something that is a change of stimulus for you. That could mean just going and hiking. It could mean going on a long walk. Being able to have breaks in your day where you're going for a long walk outdoors, if your job is an indoor, sit in front of the computer kind of job, is huge. Taking a weekend and going out with loved ones and telling stories and laughing and getting outside and doing stuff is huge. All of these things help us to recharge our brain and our body because they are a change of stimulus. There is never a time that you need to escape reality in business. You need to recharge, and to recharge, you need a change of stimulus. The entrepreneurs that take this to heart, business people who take this to heart, CEOs who take this to heart and actually have hobbies. One of my good friends loves to go hunting. He goes hunting on the weekend, keeps his mind completely off of business, comes back completely recharged. Another one loves dirt bike riding. He goes out there, he does that with his family, and he comes back completely recharged. It doesn't mean that you need a hobby. It means that you just need to know what you can do to change the stimulus, and do it on a regular basis every single week. Or maybe you do something every single day, like you take a walk during lunch every single day. That will keep your brain and your body recharged and keep you productive. It's very rare that we need escapes. The only time I will say that this doesn't work is when somebody takes it to an extreme. When I tell people, and I'll give you a case in point, we had an employee who was a salesperson years ago, And we had this discussion with him, and I went through all these different examples of things that I do to stay recharged, and he took it to the extreme, and he said, okay, well, I need to change the stimulus in my life, so this weekend I'm going to take off and I'm going to take a skydiving course. And he went out there, and it frazzled him so amazingly much that it drained his nervous system, and he came back like at a state where he needed another vacation. He needed to get away a little bit more. He actually needed to sleep in order to recharge his nerves. So don't take it to an extreme, but we definitely need to stretch our stimulus in order to recharge as entrepreneurs and to keep growing our companies. No matter what stage of growth you're at, we all need an unbiased review of what's working and also what might not be working anymore in our business. Because the greatest cause of stagnation in any company, the reason most companies hit plateaus in their growth, is because they fail to see the roadblocks that stop momentum in its tracks.